Howdy, and welcome to Cybersecurity Law and Policy. This first video is to give you an introduction to your instructor and an overview of the course. We live in a different time. At one time, our power and might came from physical, or the size of a force or an army. Today, we live in a time where we've sort of leveled the playing field in the different ways we can attack or disrupt operations. Think about this. Everything we do now involves the internet in our economy, in our financials, in our social, in our friendships, and whatever. You don't need a powerful army or a number of planes or something to achieve the same effects. The issue for you is this. Every time you put your hands on the keyboard, you are operating in an uncertain legal and policy framework, and also an ethical framework. But this course is going to concentrate on the law and the policies that govern our activities on the internet, or in anything that could be accomplished in any type of computer system. So, let's get started. Most people don't like the law. Most people don't like lawyers. I have to confess, I don't like a lot of lawyers. I am both an engineer and an attorney, and I think more like an engineer than an attorney. So this is an old Shakespeare line that's kind of cute. First thing let's kill all the lawyers. Or the comedian Stephen Wright, 99% of us give the others a bad name. And we do have this reputation of lawyers not being sometimes operating in the best interest of all concerned. Here's what I want to put the thought to you. I am, first of all, not teaching you to be a lawyer in this class. I am teaching you to be a legal, savvy cyber worker. And by cyber worker, I don't care if you're working in cybersecurity. I mean you are working in cyberspace. Okay? So as background, here's who I am. There's my education. I have 4 degrees. I have 3 professional licenses. I'm now an associate professor of practice in computer science, and I've done a lot of things in my career. I've owned businesses. I've started businesses. I've operated businesses for large financial investors. I've been a university researcher. I have a couple of patents, kind of a scoop to nuts kind of background. Now, here's what I want you to know about this course. First of all, it's a discussion course, which is really kind of hard for us to do online. So you need to work with me here. Second of all, it's not a course where I have all the answers. If you have an engineering mindset, you're going to find the answer. Sometimes in law, there appears to be many answers. Sometimes it depends on who has the best argument. This wouldn't work in algorithms. Algorithms either mathematically can be proven correct or not correct, run in polynomial or exponential time. There's a definite answer. However, we've got to kind of change our mind thinking here, and we're going to do this in class, but you have to participate with me online. And again, you're going to ask questions that I will just simply have to say, there's no answer for that now, because we do operate in an uncertain legal environment. Now, clicked up instead of down. One of the things I also wanted to point out is if you communicate with me, please copy our TA. He kind of keeps me honest. Sometimes I miss things that get them through an email. My office hours I have is 3:30 to 4:30. It's really more like 3:40 to 4:40 or 5 o'clock. I'll change that. This is where I was before. My job is to work with you to build your knowledge and skills. And your job is to do what you need to do to acquire those knowledge and skills. There's a lot of writing in this class, and no, sorry, you don't get W credit for it. That's not a decision for me to make. My idea in this is I am trying to teach you the analysis techniques. I want you to understand this and build on the skills that you can do anything scoop to nuts in building computer systems and data. You may not know the answer, but you will know how to analyze to at least find guidance for that answer. I want you to become aware of computer security and privacy issues. I want you to learn to use references that are valid to analyze laws and policy, and as I said, and ethics. And we will talk a little bit about ethics, but often our ethics don't line up with the law. And then we're going to cover hot topics such as hacking back or forward defense or going on the offensive, whichever you want to call it, specifically with the National Cyber Strategy released by the United States earlier this fall. Now, nobody likes to read, it seems like, in computer science. I have picked a textbook that I think is very readable. It's very easy to read. Sorry, there's no pictures. It would help you to read the assignments before class, but if not, read the assignments sometime. We'll typically cover everything in the book I think that's important, and there's parts of the book that I'll put on the syllabus. Don't bother reading this. I don't care about state data breach laws. I care about more the federal and the international. You need to keep up. You want to look at current events. I have a couple listed here, Dark Reading, SANS. I also read Wall Street Journal, New York Times, which you have to pay for. I have a paid law360.com. ZDNet is another good one I don't have listed here. JD Supra. You want to engage in this topic. You want to start thinking about this. I kid that I want you to put on your paranoid hat. I want you to look at a situation and you begin to see the cyber risk and then start thinking of the legal and policy implications. There will be a semester paper. Right now, be thinking of that. This is the first week of classes. We'll discuss it later, but start thinking of it. And here's the topic. Anything you can relate to cybersecurity law or policy. I'm not going to assign you a topic, and I am going to approve your topics, but I'm pretty open-ended. Every semester I say the same thing. If you want to do a programming project that you could figure out how to tie to this, please do, but so far I haven't had any takers. So I've told you who I am. I've told you my degree, and you know what? You're going to probably believe me, but here's what I want you to learn. Go check me out. Go check out the Texas Bar. Go check out the professional engineering website. And here's why. We need to begin to put on that paranoid hat. If I were much younger and could fit in, I would come and sit in my class one time. Oh, and if no one knew me, but now I'm pretty well known through A&M, and I would pretend to be a student. And on the first day of class, I would wait, and when no one shows up and people start grumbling, hey, where's that professor? I'd finally stand up and say, here I am. In other words, your first lesson in cybersecurity is always, don't take what you think you see to be valid and true. And I want you to carry that through this class. I want you to learn to discern. I want you to learn to question. Now, again, we're online, so this is going to be tough, but I want you to send me emails. I want you to come by the office if you're in town. I want you to give me your questions, criticisms, suggestions, comments, concerns. I have a pretty thick skin. If you tell me something you don't like or a chance to improve, I'm good with it. So now, with that, let's start our class. Stick with me now. Thank you for your time.